All right. Looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. Simo here to welcome the new year with some new dinosaurs and quests in Path of Titans. And I am joined by the fantastic Deathlyrage and Jiggy. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
So, first off, here we're getting into the character selection. And let me see what new dinos we have available. Oh, we got Deinonychus, the Latin, which is the first dino we had in here. And then for herbivores, we got the Camptosaurus and the Struthiomimus. Nice. Right on, guys. I'm going to spawn in as a Deinonychus because that is super cool. I love this dinosaur.
That is perfect because that's exactly what I'm playing as right now.
Father Fallen. Right on. I love the randomly generated names you guys have in here. It's great.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit hit or miss.
Let me try again. What else can I get? Zaffiaro. Nice. Hate Brother. I'm definitely going with that one. I am the Hate Brother. So I see you guys got the Waystone here. Is that how you would spawn in on a Waystone if you have a friend at one?
Yeah, that's a new Waystone button. We made it a little bit more clear, kind of what it is, and to people spawning in, it'll basically glow when you have an invite.
Oh, sweet. All right, I'm just going to enter the world. Here we are. Entering Swamp Home Cave. Interesting. What's that mean?
So we have a bunch of points of interest on the map, and they're all named, and they're used for quests, but they're also used to kind of people who used to come up with their own names of locations, like this is Swampy Lake or whatever it is, or they come up with some name, and we wanted to include that in the game. So when people talk about locations on the map, they're kind of like named areas that they can meet up and kind of know generally where they are when they enter and leave an area.
Oh, right on. Very cool. Well, hey, I want to welcome everyone who's showing up in the stream here. Wow, guys, we already got 80 people watching. Welcome Dryosaurus, Ethan Yang, Ayla, Le Stuff De Yone, Abyss, Carnage Cassidy, Dragon, Jack, Bread Genie, Vicky, Leonard, Fearful, Bored, Kieran, Thunder. Welcome, everybody. So glad you could join us for this stream. It's going to be a really good one. And Jiggy, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at a mushroom. Is one of these the mushrooms we talked about in the last stream? Like, is this something an Herbie could eat?
Part of the right now it's just a quest item. So if you if you press tab, go to quests, you can refresh a quest, and it'll give you a quest, so to speak.
Oh, okay, cool.
And some of the quests are go and collect temporary for now, because we're like, what's a good thing we can use to test that's easy to see that anyone can go and collect? And yeah, we just grabbed a bright red mushroom to contrast against all the green. So
oh, nice.
Yeah,
25
so
mushrooms.
So
in the future we'll actually have more themed items and things that make a little bit more sense. But just for now, for testing, we've just slapped some mushrooms down on the map.
Yes, so the reason why we put in a simple version of quests, we weren't originally going to have it in this soon. Originally, the fishing demo was going to come out earlier, and this could be later down the line. But we had problems with simulating accurate server load without all the game features being in there, like combat and all that.
Yeah.
So just to kind of get people moving around the map, discovering new locations, kind of spread out, distributed across the whole map, so the whole map would be loaded, instead of just one kind of area where people would hang out. So these kind of quests, give us some better info on, the performance of the game and how things are running as more mechanics get added over time.
Awesome. That Struthiomimus just stole that mushroom from me. That's a quest I can do, even as a carnivore.
Yeah, so you just basically run up and tap E on them, and they'll disappear, and your quest will go up one. You can still steal them without having a quest and kind of deny them from people. So I've been seeing that a lot, which is pretty cool. But two basic types of quests. One's the collect quest, and the other one's like a go to this location quest. And we've got more types and more interesting ones coming. We're about to chain them together for more complicated quests. But just something we put in over the last 2 days for helping the server simulate load properly.
I'm certainly looking around for mushrooms now. I just want to let the chat know. First off, Happy New Year's, everybody. We are just hours away, at least in my time zone, from the new year. So Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you're bringing in the new year with some fun and cheer. And I want to let you all, oh wow, look at all the names. I want to let y'all know, you can, if you have any burning questions for the devs of Path of Titans, you can go ahead and ask them in the chat, and we will pick out the very interesting ones. If they've already been answered, I may just quickly address them. But go ahead and ask away, guys, if you have anything in mind. First off, Parkgrass, are you giving out invites? Sure, if you got the game and you can hop in, I'll invite you to the pack. We've got everybody here. Are we just all grouped, no matter the species? Or are these all
I
Deinonychus?
think this is a lot of Deinonychus players, right?
Oh, wow. So why don't you tell me a little bit about the Deinonychus?
So it's basically the smallest thing in the game, playable thing in the game, you know, for launch. In the future, we might add smaller stuff, like the Microraptor will be quite small once that's added in the future. But for now, this is the smallest carnivore and the smallest dinosaur. However, it's meant to be actually quite speedy and maneuverable compared to a lot of the other dinosaurs. I'm sure you can run around, you can, turn on a dime and things like that. And for its size, it's really good at hiding. Like if you run into any bush, you're pretty much completely hidden. And given how many bushes there are, it's really great for a stealth, kind of small stealthy one. And they're going to be doing much better in packs than they are going to be solo. And they'll have the ability to jump and latch on to things. Oh, I found you.
Nice.
Be able to jump and latch onto things, and take down things that are larger than them, but clearly not, like Triceratops size. But they'll be really fun for people who love running around and exploring, and being nimble, but not necessarily as tanky, so to speak, as a Latinovenatrix, the other raptor.
Yeah. Very cool. Thank you. I see a good question here in the chat. What kind of game modes are going to be in the game?
So for launch, we only have one game mode planned, which is kind of just like MMO game mode, where you've got like quests and parties, and you can group up, and it's kind of like the base game mode. But in the future, we have a lot of game modes that we've unlocked through crowdfunding, through our stretch goals. Like we have Capture the Egg, which is similar to Capture the Flag, but you'll be like defending a nest of eggs and things like that. And we'll have a team deathmatch one, where you'll be able to team up with a couple people on a specific map that's been made for like deathmatch kind of game mode, and you can try out different dinosaur builds and see which is the best at PvP, and modify stats and things like that. So if you're really into just wanting to fight people as a dinosaur, that's the really good game mode for you to try out. And we're also thinking, we also have territories where you'll be able to kind of do King of the Hill style game modes, and it's just, there's a lot of like really fun game modes that I think a lot of people will like if they're kind of done or bored of doing the MMO RPG style version of the game. They can kind of hop into that and still earn rewards and things like that that can carry over to the MMO side of the game as well.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that'd be fantastic for just times where you just want to get into the action. You can hop into a game mode.
Yep, exactly.
We also have my favorite game mode, which is the creator game mode, where you can have somebody on the server basically be like a flying camera or animal or something like that, and basically be able to like create quests and change the weather and time of day, and kind of like generate in-game events, kind of like I don't know if you played this, but it's like Arbitrary Zeus, where it's kind of like a role play orientated realism kind of someone's kind of running the show or running the server, and they can come up with new and interesting ways that maybe aren't in the previous game modes, but that might simulate a herbivore migration or something like that interesting they want to do, and they might want to better moderate it and change a few things, or spawn in some AI dinosaurs, or maybe control one of the AI dinosaurs, and all sorts of things like that.
Oh yeah, that'd be really cool. Almost reminds me of like an asymmetrical kind of multiplayer game, or maybe something akin to forge, maybe. I'm not
Yeah,
familiar
it's
with the
kind of
game
like
you
one
mentioned. But...
person playing an RTS and another person playing as a dinosaur on the ground level, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, imagine being a dungeon master from Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Without having to have the burden of knowing all the rules.
Yeah, I mean, we're thinking it'd just be really fun for server owners who kind of have like stories they want to tell, or almost like campaigns or something for their players to go on. And they can kind of like make quests on the fly and give them to people, and maybe spawn down a dinosaur like AI and have them kind of act like NPCs, and then maybe take control and like possess that dinosaur character, and then like you can do so many really cool things with it. And if people aren't interested in that, they can at least use it as a pretty awesome server like um, admin tool. Like manage your server and stuff like that.
Yeah, I really like that. You can't even begin to imagine the kind of things players can come up with when they put their minds to it. So I'm sure there'll be some really exciting things to try out. Let me see if we got a question here from the chat. Can you ask the devs if there will be pouncing in the game? Dennis, I think we just got a confirmation with that when I was asking about the Deinonychus here. There will be pouncing in the game. Do you maybe want to elaborate on that at all?
Well, like we said, there'll be pouncing. You'll be able to have a certain number of people, up to a certain number of people, latched onto the dinosaur, and as more people are on it, the dinosaur will start moving slower and slower, and it's kind of like trying to drag them down and take them down, and do chip damage and stuff while you're latched onto them. So as a team, you can probably all pile up on a single dinosaur and take them down. Whereas if you were individually, you probably wouldn't even be able to keep up with them.
Yeah, just like our last Q&A where we said that groups are overpowered IRL, there can also be a bit of a tactical advantage where maybe you're not the biggest dinosaur, but if you can group up with some people, you've got a good fighting chance.
I know this has been asked a few times in the chat. What's going to be the biggest playable dino in the game?
So Spinosaurus, on launch, will be the largest playable dinosaur. It's like pretty dang big. Eotriceratops is the biggest herbivore, which is actually really quite big, but it's more like its mass is really big. It's really heavy, but it's not necessarily extremely tall or extremely long. It's kind of like a thick potato shape.
It's a chunky boy.
It reminds me of a tank, really, when it just runs through. It's just so big, so wide.
But the Spinosaurus, while it's going to be the largest, it's not necessarily meant for like PvP and killing other dinosaurs. It's more of a fisher. So, it'll be really up to the player. But if you're looking for like what is the best dinosaur for PvP, or what's the biggest and baddest one, it might not necessarily be Spinosaurus, because it's more suited to swimming around and fishing and stuff like that. Like if you've seen the length of its legs, you'll be able to tell it's probably not going to be terribly fast, and its jaws aren't necessarily that powerful. I mean, they're still powerful, but not necessarily built for crushing bones and stuff like that. So it'll be balanced for sure.
Awesome. And since we do have some quests in the game now, what kind of rewards and benefits do you get when you complete a quest?
Right now, we don't have, like in this current build that we're playing right now, all you get are points, and that's that, because we haven't implemented the unlocking system yet. But in the future, we'll be unlocking, with your marks that you earn, you can spend them on unlocking more skins, so you'll only start the game with the default skin, and it's up to you to go and unlock the bigger and badder things, cooler skins and things. And you'll also use your points to unlock abilities and attacks. And also kind of like improving or side grading your abilities. So that, let's say you really like being a fast dinosaur, but you're the character that you chose, or the character that you like playing might have subpar speed. You might say, look, I'll spend a bit of points and upgrade my feet slot, quote unquote feet slot, to improve my speed, but maybe at the cost of my stamina doesn't recharge as quickly, or something like that. So you're kind of picking and choosing your your improvements for your dinosaur, but not outright making yourself better. So you're not outright leveling up. It's always a trade-off. Because, like, I think we mentioned this last stream that we did, but we don't really want there to be an outright imbalance in that if you've played for 20 hours, you're outright better than the player who's just started. We really want to try and keep that balance because otherwise it just rewards people who've just been playing forever and ever, and it's really hard to
And you
catch
can
up to
get
them.
people left behind, you know what I mean? Like games that we just level forever and you keep leveling forever and keep getting
Yeah,
stronger.
you kind of get like some power creep here. So yeah, that's what you'll be using your points for, and there'll be plenty of other things you can use with your points as well. Um, uh, so it's like for example with the home caves, that you'll start out with just one single room in your cave, and you can actually spend your points to extend your cave out and add different kinds of rooms and unlock different like cool items inside of your home cave and stuff. So let's just basically imagine it as like currency, like you would in any other MMO, like gold or copper or silver. Imagine that. That's what these marks are for. And that's to upgrade your skills, get more cosmetic things, and improve your house, your cave, and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I just wanted to note that some of the mushrooms on the map are bugged, but that's fixed for next patch.
Yeah,
I think
see,
if
I've
you
been
like
trying
either
to
come
get that
back
one.
and like come back in a minute or find a different one, like most of them work, but there's just like I don't
will
know, like
continue my
couple
search.
percent of them that are bugged out right now. It's bugged on Real Engine, but we're putting a workaround for it.
Right on. Thank you. Yeah, I was like, how can I get this to work? Oh, hi, Struthy. God, they look so big compared to these Deinonychus. So, something I
Yeah,
thought was an interesting question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that you really think you're big until you stand next to one of those things, and it's like, wow, you know. But go on.
One quick thing. Is there a way I can, like, hide the, all the name tags? Is that available in the settings right now?
That was available, but we kind of recently changed how they work. But we basically have to do more work on that. We're kind of refactoring the whole settings menu thing.
Okay, cool.
You should be able to leave your party.
Yeah, if it's cluttering too much, you can leave the party. But in the future, we're gonna make them a hell of a lot better in terms of. But you can kind of see that they're being replaced over to a newer system right now.
Yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to ask that. One question I thought was pretty good is, do you guys maybe want to talk a bit like on points where you're focusing on realism and other portions where you may be taking more liberties with the realism aspect of the game?
Yeah. So, first and foremost, for the game and as a team and as players, we think that having a fun game is more important than a realistic game. Like, fun will always come before realism, but that's not to say you can't have both. Now we are making an MMO, and there will be quests, and you will have players running around doing things, and inherently, because we're humans, we're never gonna actually behave quite like animals unless we actively try to like roleplay as that. Now we can try and encourage players to play in certain ways by giving them quests that, if you're a herbivore, please take this quest, and this quest asks you to go and forage for pine cones, let's say. And while you, as an actual human being, would be like, well, why the heck would I do that? But if you're incentivized by having a quest and you'll have a reward with some marks at the end, you'll actually look around and you'll see other players foraging for, pine cones in this case. And it kind of like helps with the immersion, so we can kind of direct player behavior by giving them a reason to act natural.
Yeah.
But that being said, for instance, there is the Waystone in this game, which is basically just a magic rock that teleports people. And like the idea with something like that is, it is a game. We needed a way to be able to bring people from one area to another and make it really quick and easy for gameplay reasons. Otherwise, it's just a gigantic map and it's way too difficult to try and run across this giant map to try and meet each other.
Yeah.
Right? So we're like, hands in the air, this is what we have to do. We really want this functionality to be in the game, and may as well make it look kind of cool, you know, if people are going to use that.
Nice, I got a mushroom. Go ahead.
Also, if realism is totally your thing, you should definitely like set up your own server, and basically we'll have like a scripting system where you can kind of tweak what kind of server roles you want to have. And that's kind of like what we mentioned in our last Q&A, where we wanted to avoid the whole, if someone's not role playing right, they just get banned thing, and sort of put it on more on the game side than the needing to remember every exact rule or circumstance.
Yeah, instead of just asking random people to go to a Discord and follow the rules.
Yeah, like that doesn't work, right? Or do you have to whitelist people and you don't have enough players on, and like it's a whole thing, right? But if you can kind of change the game rules where maybe this case of, you know, you don't want this dinosaur killing this other dinosaur, you can put kind of like a line in your server configuration that can modify the behavior of that a bit to not need the whole just ban people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
definitely.
a lot better for the server admins and the actual end players.
So when people may have like a server, for example, that says Realism, it'll actually be able to have like systems in the gameplay that, in that particular server's viewpoint, helps to emphasize a realistic type of environment for the server.
Yeah, like some people have rules that's like, hey, this kind of dinosaur shouldn't be attacking this larger dinosaur unless it's, you know, unless it's really wounded or something like that, and they might put some kind of rule in that's like, hey, this dinosaur type health less than equal to this with this kind of effect, and the server can basically apply that and let people know that, hey, the server you're playing on is a little different. Here's a list of these things that are kind of enforced by gameplay, and you avoid the whole person getting banned. You know what I mean? You see the whole, oh, this smaller dinosaur attacked that bigger dinosaur and it's against the server rules, and can you ban this person? Like, that's not going to be a thing anymore. Like, you still might want to do a couple of things that get missed by that, but it won't be a whole list of hundreds of rules, right?
Yeah,
Or
definitely.
even
take a
harder,
load
like
off.
dinosaur profiles. You know what I mean? Like, if servers come up with dinosaur profiles on like how certain dinosaurs can role play, and you know, that's kind of more integrated in the game, and even there's like some kind of pop-up when you log in kind of explaining that stuff for that dinosaur, that can be a lot better for people than to find a random Discord server and find a Google Doc and then go through an Excel spreadsheet to find the dinosaur they're trying to roleplay as. That's not really that elegant.
Yeah, definitely I'm tired of that and would prefer something in-game to make things a little easier on, frankly, everybody. I do want to address a couple things in the chat. Dennis, gore will be a thing in the game. We talked about that before. It's going to be kind of like a chunk system. When you eat a body, it'll take like a piece out of it, I think, if I remember right there, Deathly.
Yeah, there's like chunk system for meat. So when you attack somebody or eat a body or eat a body on the ground, or you can pick up a fish, you'll basically hold that piece of meat in your mouth and you carry it around. You can eat it and drop it and give it to your younglings or nest or things like that. And that's kind of how to work. We're not really a horror game, but we're also going to have some kind of gore as well. So it's kind of a balance in between, you know what I mean? Where we're not trying to be a horror game, but, you know, killing something should feel, you know, like you actually did that and not, you know, rainbows coming out of it kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Which just kind of goes on to like the more realism side of that thing. Like if you go murder a critter, you know, we're gonna make you feel bad. You're gonna hear this death sound and this pile of blood, and you're gonna be like, maybe I shouldn't do that.
So that brings me to ask and answer a question from Jack Spyro here. How will damage be working? Like, can you injure a dinosaur like an Eotrike or as a Latin or Deinonychus? I mean, you mentioned there was the pouncing, but elaborate on that, please.
So we basically will have locational damage. So depending on where you attack, the damage may be different, right? So you obviously have your base damage stats per dinosaurs, and you have all the abilities and perks and things you can unlock. And then we balance that with where you're actually attacking, right? So, you know, some dinosaurs have like very vulnerable areas near where the neck is, and the other dinosaurs, you know, basically have some plating there that kind of protects them a lot more. So we'll be looking at where you're attacking and what dinosaur you are and how big you are and how much damage you have, and balancing that against, you know, how healthy the other dinosaur is and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, sounds pretty in depth there. Locational damage from the start.
Yeah, so basically, we can detect when you bite somebody, hey, is this like some feathers on the, like maybe this isn't gonna like, injure somebody, but maybe you're going after their legs, they might get a leg break near there, or if you're going after someone more vulnerable like the neck, and this is all gonna have to be set up per dinosaur, so a skilled player isn't necessarily like super strong from upgrades, it's more so that he knows kind of the right places to attack and where to focus and that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, they
And as
tailor
someone
their dino style to their gameplay.
you're gonna prioritize what areas and like what where you're facing and things like that. Like if your tail's less vulnerable and things like that, or you're gonna swing it at somebody and you're really trying to protect the neck. That's you're gonna play differently, especially if you have collision. You can't just run through somebody, because if you have locational damage without a collision, that's not going to be as effective as, okay, you have collision and locational damage and all this stuff scales, depending on the done.
So you heard it, collision with locational damage, guys. So that also, would there be friendly fire in that case?
For our combat system, currently the plan is that you can damage friendlies, but it'll probably be some kind of server option. So combat will be a lot more deliberate in terms of like there'll be some kind of targeting where you can like kind of target a dinosaur in the area you want to attack kind of thing. So it's less of a completely free-form left-click bite, more reactionary kind of combat we want to go for.
Just checking the chat here quick. Any updates on how nesting might be working? I think we'd addressed it in a previous Q&A, but is there any been?
Yeah,
I
so
think it was kind of up in the air still.
It is a stretch goal. So we would love to add growth and nesting to the base game just because it's important for game playability reasons. So we'll definitely try to get that one done on time. We do have to balance. So growth will be based on quests and not necessarily over time. So that will definitely affect how nesting works. We'd also like you to be able to build the nest instead of just hitting a key in one kind of spawn. So maybe there's like a quest to build a nest and a quest to like raise a baby dinosaur, and or even like have a baby dino that's not even a player, more like an AI, right? That could be super interesting.
Hey, welcome to the stream there, Aries. Thank you so much for popping in, man. Good to see ya. Checking the chat again. Are there going to be any kind of climbing in the game? Like,
So we do have the Microraptor stretch goal. We'll have be able to climb trees.
Okay, cool.
I think he has a glide as well. So you
really?
So you're like the smallest dinosaur in the game, but you have some tools there. You know what I mean? And that's kind of why we avoid the whole bigger dinosaur is better. You know what I mean? It's really different, not just clearly better.
This is a good question. Megstad, will predators have a limit on the server? Like, so for example, like you don't have like half the players playing as Spinosaurus, or?
Oh yeah, so we get this a lot, right? So the kind of assumption is the bigger dinosaur must be like really strong, and everyone's going to want to play that because it's strong or it's popular or something like that. So the thing is, we don't want to put any artificial limits. We want to solve those problems through the game design, and bigger won't necessarily be better, right? And we're also not trying to balance the popularity of all the dinosaurs evenly, right? So if everyone loves Spinosaurus, that's going to be awesome, right? But we might better compensate for that by spawning more AI to fill in kind of the gap players leave, right? So we understand that each dinosaur has a unique kind of play style, and people are going to prefer different ones. And where there's gaps in the play style, we'll look at, hey, is there anything we're doing wrong or anything we could do better to kind of like you know, if one of the dinosaurs has a bug and people don't play that one because it's bugs, then that's really important to fix, you know, to fix the whole popularity thing. But if all the dinosaurs are fine and people prefer certain playstyles, we can balance that through AI as well.
Excellent. So like the ecosystem won't be entirely dependent on what players choose.
Yeah, so if you just join a server, for example, and you're the only person on it, we're going to basically be able to buff the AI and kind of create a similar experience as you would playing on a full server. And as the player base changes, we're going to change the AI. And based upon what you're playing, we can change that too. And the way at least official servers are going to work, if you're a Spinosaurus player, we're going to put you on a server that's not just everyone playing as a Spinosaurus. Like, would prefer, like in the matchmaker, to give you a server that has a bunch of other dinosaurs on it, so you get kind of a balanced ecosystem.
right on, I like the sound of that.
Like that won't be for like unofficial servers, but definitely for the official ones, like that balancing will take effect, right? And being able to control the server infrastructure like that lets us do all sorts of things, like balance like skill level of players so they're evenly distributed, so you don't have a single server that's just like all hardcore people or all noobs. So you kind of get a balanced experience that way, because if you put like somebody who just downloads the game with a server of 200 people with, you know, 1,000 hours, that they may not have as great time if it's like evenly distributed. And us being able to control the matchmaker lets us change the balance on those kind of things.
Awesome. And I have Digi asking, is Path of Titans out? Not yet. The early access release date will be announced in the first quarter of 2020, correct?
Yep.
And if you want to go check out the game, you can get the demo at Alderaan Games website. I do have a link down to the Path of Titans Discord down below in the description, guys, if any of you want to hop on there. What would small dinos like the Microraptor be able to eat? Asks Basic Bully. So, like, will there be food types for... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so there will be kind of like carcasses and things like that, and if people leave them, then it's definitely really good at scavenging. You know, if there's a fish that a Suchomimus was in the middle of eating and it kind of just left it there, then the Microraptor could swoop in and try and, you know, steal a few bites. And we're also, because this is so far ahead, we can't quite exactly confirm that this isn't something that will happen, but we're really interested in seeing if we can give them small insects or something like that to eat.
Oh, that'd be
one
super
thing
neat.
that I personally really would like is termite mounds for something like the Struthiomimus to go and eat. And if that's the case, then also like termite mounds maybe for the Microraptor, or small insect-related foods like maybe wasp nests or something like that.
Yeah, that's especially in like walking with dinosaurs and stuff like that, like seeing those like really small dinosaurs going after insects as well, and that's just another option with corpses and, you know, termite mines and things like that. Definitely sounds super interesting.
Yeah, but that because that's so far in the future, we like it's kind of hard for us to give an actual concrete answer on whether or not that's something we can do. But that's definitely something I really want to do. So
Awesome. How big will official servers be, is a question. I saw somebody ask, how long will it take to grow? Growth will be tied to finishing quests. But could you talk about your ideas for the player limits on official servers?
Yeah, so basically the plan is to go for 200 right now per server. So that means basically internally we'll need to test up to 250, so 200 runs extremely well, and that's basically the goal. So that's why we do these stress tests, and that's why you see like features added bit by bit, right? So we'll optimize it. Like first we started, the game could only run like 50 people, and now we last checked it was around 130 to 150, right? So we'll basically work on the optimizations as we go and as we add new features.
Awesome.
And once we basically get to 200, we're going to add AI in, and we'll start this whole process again until it runs super well, and then we'll add the next thing.
Awesome, 200 players per server. That's a dream right there. Spino Jesus here asks, how will mods work?
Yeah, so basically, you obviously have the dev kit, which will provide some downloads for. You will have to sign a agreement with Epic Games, just about the Unreal Engine license. And then basically you're about to download, install it. You're about to make a mod. You're about to upload the mod to our Outdoor Games platform.
Yep.
We basically have a website where you upload the mod, and we build the mod for you for all the platforms, right? So for like Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, or even some of the consoles, pending approval, and it'll build the mod for all that and distribute it for you. And as a server owner, you kind of say, hey, I want this mod, and you put it in your configuration. The server will automatically download the mod and load it up, and people who join will automatically download the mod kind of from the game, and it'll boot in. Same with on mobile. It's provided the modders use a lot of the assets were already pre-optimized, or they optimize their own assets, then it'll basically work out the box for all the platforms we support in multiplayer.
Awesome, sounds nice and easy, all handled right within the game.
Yep, and if you can distribute mods yourself outside of our platform too, right? So there's certain mods we don't really allow through our guidelines. So if it's got like some kind of adult content in it, or we think that it's not gonna be very liked from the rating agency, you can host that yourself basically, and still put that on your server. It just won't be run by us. So you've kind of got like freedom to do whatever you want, and we will provide services for the provided you follow our rules basically.
Okay.
But we don't really want to kind of censor, like if someone wants to do an extremely gory mod that won't necessarily be approved by ratings or things like that, you can still go do that, right?
My good friend 1998 EBB asks, if you buy the demo, will you get the full game for free when it's released?
So it's basically the other way around, right? So you back the game or pre-release, and demo comes for free, and you basically get the full game, right? So currently you have demo key, and then as we get closer to launch, you'll get a full game key in your account and a pre-release key if you got that tier.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
so you're just buying the
think
game,
of it
not just the
as
demo.
yeah, think of it as you're buying the game, and as a way of us saying thank you and wanting to keep you involved in the active development of the game, you can play the demo that we update monthly.
Yeah, so the demo is basically we can demonstrate specific features of our game to backers and get feedback on. You know what I mean? They can be a little bit more involved in the development process, and there's so many things that we've actually adjusted based on backer feedback that have made the game significantly better. So the demo is not supposed to be a playable game yet. That's going to be the pre-release. It's just specific features, and people get to report bugs in the map and glitches and things like that, so we can kind of get them all ironed down. So when everyone jumps on to the pre-release, they can have a really solid experience.
Oh, thanks for being here with us, Ashton. We'll catch you later there, my friend.
We do definitely see post-release, if we can make the demo free, that'll be the goal. And that'll be a demonstration of the full game. But currently, it's really a demonstration of just specific features we're working on.
Right on. So yeah, the progress is coming along fantastically. I love seeing these updates. I mean, we've already got the Deinonychus and now the Struthiomimus along with the Camptosaurus and the Latenovenatrix. Do you guys have any idea of what dinos you'll be adding to the multiplayer demo next?
Before I had to go into the dinosaurs, so the things we want to add next that aren't directly dinosaur related is expand on quests. We want to add some combat in.
Oh, sweet.
We basically have a combat system being worked on right now. Uses a new cool framework Unreal Engine put out called the gameplay ability system, which lets us do a lot of stuff. But the next logical thing I see is some unlocks for the quest you're completing right now. So basically we'll start people out with a default skin and you unlock skins, and we'll get some attacks in and kind of get a basic gameplay loop of quests, combat, attacks, kind of thing for the 4 dinosaurs we have right now. And then once that's in, by the time we have that, the fishing demo will probably be out. And then shortly after that, we'll look at either merging the fishing demo and multiplayer demo kind of together, so you'll have fishing inside the multiplayer test, and then we'll kind of expand out from there on more dinosaur types, and that'll be based on like how complete they are. So like, you know, what kind of animations and attacks we have done for them, and if all the calls are done, and if we're happy with the new movement and stuff like that.
Oh, I see a poor dead Struthiomimus here at the bottom of this waterfall, blinking in and out of existence. Poor Struthi. Oh, I'm sorry, Lexi. Did I abandon you and Michael? My bad. Thank you so much there, Ian. Let me see here. Hey, Michelle! Michelle Marquidon, welcome to the stream! My dad keeps bragging about you. Oh, Gary's the best. Thank you for hopping in, Michelle. It's good to see ya. Kobe asks, can you ask if they will fix the lag of servers and if the game will support people that run on low graphics settings, because it's really hard to run games. You know, I definitely agree with that there, Kobe. Games are getting really advanced, so what can you guys tell us about the system requirements or the kind of optimizations you're working on?
Generally, a lot of the best optimizations will come together as the game gets more completed, like closer to the end. But basically, there are a couple of bugs in the game right now where on like low settings, it's still not like applying all the settings correctly or using all the settings we want. So there's some easy performance gains we can put in to get a lot better performance than we currently have. And in terms of server optimization, that'll get better as we get more optimization in on the server side, and we also have to put in servers for all the regions. So when we do future tests, we'll have dedicated, you know, EU, US, Australia, UK, like servers for all the regions. And once players are more localized to a server that's closer to them, there's going to be even better performance with that. And that's not including the new movement system, which will have better replication performance for movement. But looking at the amount of dinosaurs we have on screen at once is kind of a miracle, because we've been working on like animation update improvements as well, because previously a lot of people think that the game rendering all these dinosaurs is what's lagging it. It's not actually the case. It's most of the animations of all the dinosaurs. So we've been actually working a lot on optimizing that so we can have a lot of dinosaurs on screen at once.
Excellent. Yeah, it's gonna be a challenge, I'm sure, with 200 players, but I believe you guys can do it. Kyle Turner, thank you for subscribing there, my friend. So people are wondering if there's gonna be any other like creatures besides dinosaurs, like AI or otherwise, like crocodiles, for example.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of, in order of appearance, we have prehistoric crocodiles, prehistoric lizards, so they're kind of the crocodiles are probably a little bit larger than the Deinonychus that we're playing right now, and the lizards are about the same size as the Deinonychus, so pretty large, like formidable AI that you can probably go after if you're a smaller dinosaur and you need a snack kind of thing. We've got turtles, so tortoises and aquatic turtles. There's lots of fish, so there's different kinds of fish. There's the larger fish that look a little bit like arapaima, if you're familiar with those. They're kind of like prehistoric bony looking fish.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's arowanas. Those are kind of like the slightly smaller ones that look similar to an arowana. There's other kinds of fish too, just like, you know, simple trout looking fish. But yeah, overall, lots of fish types. And there's also, we're thinking of putting in a couple small mammals, kind of like little rat-looking, like early mammals kind of thing. And what else is there? There's the Platyhystrix, which is it's technically not a dinosaur. It's actually from the time before the dinosaurs, but it was funded by a perk owner. So someone from our crowdfunding actually donated money to us, and we've made the creature of their choosing. And the Platyhystrix basically looks like a very tiny Dimetrodon, I should say, which is a reptile with a sail on its back. I'm sure if you Google it or look on our YouTube page on Path of Titans on YouTube, we actually have a little teaser video of it, and it's quite small and quite cute. So,
Oh, awesome! I can't wait to check it out. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it'll tear groups apart if somebody kills one of those things because somebody in the group's gonna feel bad and they're gonna be like, "I'm not grouping with you anymore. You murdered this little creature," and other people are like, "I want to murder that thing so I can get back at all these people." So yeah, it's gonna be super.
And the AI in general is going to be the smaller creature AI, I should say. We're calling it the critter AIs. They'll generally be kind of like, if you're bigger than it, they'll just try and run away. And if you're smaller than it, then they might, decide if they're hungry, they might try going after you as a snack.
I see.
It's just enough to make the world feel more alive and make you remind you that it's not only dinosaurs in this world. There's a bit more to it, and in terms of not necessarily AI, but still other creatures that are in the game. If you actually look around right now around you, you'll probably notice small butterflies and moths and even birds in the trees that sometimes fly by and stuff. And they're not necessarily things that you can eat and catch, but they start adding a little bit to the game. Actually, it looks like the fireflies are just starting to spawn now.
Oh, yep, I see one.
You might start seeing them.
Oh, hey, Sleepy Time, thank you so much for that $10 super chat, my friend, and a happy new year to you as well. Red Orange, yes, there are going to be fish AI, and there will be a fishing demo coming up soon. So make sure you guys keep your eye out for that. Do you maybe want to tell us a little bit about the fishing demo?
Yeah, it's it'll, like we mentioned though, it is a demo. Basically you'll spawn in as a Suchomimus, which is a big fisher dinosaur, and there'll be a little pond that you'll be able to run around in, swim around. You won't be able to leave the pond area because it's just meant to be a bit of a demo of the showcase of what you can do, but you'll be able to, dive down, test out the swimming. If you manage to catch a fish, it'll be like put into your mouth and you'll be able to eat it. And it's just basically a showcase of, hey, here are the mechanics, here's how it works, here's how it controls, and here's how the fish, react to you. They'll try and run away, and they'll respawn slowly over time and stuff.
And you'll be able to carry fish around and drop them as well. So it'll be an example of like the meat truck system we talked about earlier.
If I wanted to switch to the Struthiomimus, would I need to log out and log back in?
Yeah.
You can just log out to the character list and make a new character or switch.
Okay. Somebody in the game.
All those bugs with the log out and player list disappearing and all that's all fixed. So if you remember from earlier tests where it used to bug out with a lot of people, that's completely fixed now.
Okay, nice, excellent. Graham in game is asking, they're curious if Sarko could grab prey, possibly drag them into the water, I'm guessing?
Yeah, that's definitely a mechanic that we would like to have, the Sarcosuchus. Yep.
Alright, if anyone wants to join me as a Struthi, that's what I'm coming back as.
When 50 people all log out at the same time, as you all know, a couple of people check.
Snap bleed. I like it. Alright. Coming back in. Yes, Giacobi, there will be T-Rex. That's one of the stretch goal dinosaurs. It'll be added post full access. And I saw someone ask if I would recommend this game, and I absolutely 100% do. Cheese Curd, thank you for that question. You do have to pay for the demo right now, but that gives you full access to the game when it comes out. And this game won't be in development for a million years. One thing I really respect, Deathly, is that you guys are putting down a solid time frame to get this game done, not just using early access as an excuse to just sit around and, I don't know, do what some other games have done and just get away with some pretty terrible practices.
When the game comes out, we want it to be the full game, and We also have a really flexible refund policy. So if the game doesn't come out on time, or you're unhappy, or you want a refund, it's the refund policy is actually a bit better than Steam, right? So if you're unhappy with your experience of the game, we actually want to give you your money back, because you being unhappy costs a lot more than the price of the game. So like with Steam, if you've played more than 2 hours, you can't refund, and
Yeah.
there's all these weird restrictions, right? But if you're generally unhappy, you can have a refund. Doesn't particularly matter if you played 1 minute over 2 hours, when Steam support says no. So kind of the advantages of our own platform with regards to the refunds. We control the whole process from buying to refunding to downloading to playing and all that.
Excellent. I really like that, because often with the games like this, you don't know 2 hours in whether or not it's gonna really be a good game for you.
Yeah, exactly, right. Like you might have this kind of game and you might feel like, hey, this dinosaur MMO kind of thing isn't for me, right? And that's totally okay, right? Because we are going in a unique direction, you know what I mean? If you're kind of used to just a normal dinosaur survival game, like this game might not be for you, right? We're designing it to be more modular, and it's kind of like a toolbox of tools you can use to make your own dinosaur experience. But regardless, if there's a lot of amazing games out there for very cheap, right? So if you're unhappy, you can totally do that.
Do we have any? I know you've been working on the mobile version. Do we have any ideas when a mobile demo might come out?
So we do have a early version of the mobile demo already out. So basically, on our Discord, if you go to the bot commands channel and you type, I think it's like ! add Android or iOS, you'll get access to a Android or iOS testing channel. And for Android, you'll just about to download an APK, install the game, and update it. And it'll generally be around the same version as the multiplayer testing. So if you go do that, you actually better join the multiplayer test on your phone, which is pretty cool. And we also have an iOS channel that you'll better download the game from an app called Test Flight. So iOS updates are a little bit slower because they have to be approved by Apple, but you basically get a very similar experience. The mobile version still needs a lot of work. There's some UI elements that need to be optimized for mobile because it's very PC-like right now, but that'll be an ongoing process as we make the game better.
Excellent. Because that's something really exciting, that this game will be cross-platform with mobile. Dennis had a good question. Dennis asks, will they add earthquakes and volcanoes to the game?
So we don't have any plans for volcanoes and earthquakes in the sense that like there'll be natural disasters, at least for now, just because something like that, it might seem really simple on the surface, but it's actually really complicated to get it working with multiplayer and to have the terrain, change and stuff like that. So we're not trying to make the game so giant that we can't actually finish the game. But that's definitely a cool idea, and in the future we'd like to try that out. One thing that I'm really interested in doing is one of the stretch goals that we unlocked was an island map. So a completely new map, separate from this redwood pine forest map that you see here. And I'd really like to have a volcano on that map, kind of towards the center of the island. And we can definitely base some interesting new gameplay experiences around that volcano. But like I said, for the base game, most of these natural disasters probably won't be in. But other natural disasters that we're trying to see if we can get in is things like landslides, where there might be a small opening in order to get into a certain area of the map, and sometimes just a landslide happens and fills the area and either traps people in or lands on top of people when they're trying to get through, or locks people out, and it's just kind of dynamically changing the way the map might be able to be navigated by everybody.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Just to add to that, there's a lot of amazing stuff we'd love to add that we haven't mentioned yet, but we also don't want to say yes to everything, right? So it's a very classic mistake where games are like, yeah, I'll take volcanoes, landslides, and forest fires, and every single feature ever, and then it's kind of, the game becomes this really like scope creep where the actual things developers have to do on the game just keep on increasing kind of forever, and the game's kind of never seen to completion, right? So we'd like to see a smaller version, to completion, and then expand on what we feel like the most important thing, which could totally be volcanoes or it could be something else.
I would love that. I mean, so much of the stories we hear about dinosaurs involve natural disasters because that often leads to fossilization. So I think it's a really worthwhile thing to go after. But I fully agree. Work on a complete product first, and then look at adding interesting stuff like that.
Yeah, because you can have a really cool volcano, but if there's some part of your game that's not that great yet, then it's going to ruin the whole experience, right? So we want to get the things that we think are most important, and that's kind of like the combat and the collision system and the quests and things like that, to like a really high standard, and kind of the AI and performance and things like that. And as soon as we solve those problems, there's so much content. Like, we plan on doing a 5 to 10 year life cycle for this game. We have a lot of awesome things we can do post-launch on our schedule.
Excellent. I know with those stretch goals, there's a lot to be done yet. I can't wait to see what you guys can come up with on your own. Is Path of Titans out officially Omni-6'd? Not yet. It's still in a demo state. If you want to get the demo, you can go to alderongames.com, right?
Yep.
alderongames.com, guys. I got a link to the Path of Titans Discord down in the description of the video if you want to hop onto their Discord.
Someone asks about controller support. So we already have partial controller support in the game right now. There's a couple of menus that it's missing on, but we do definitely plan on having full controller support, and that's important for the game launching on console too. And it's also important for accessibility reasons. Like, some people might have a disability, and using a mouse and keyboard might not be as convenient or easy to use for them, and that definitely helps with the controller support. And if you're playing on a phone, playing on a controller is awesome, because you can just connect a controller by Bluetooth to a phone or tablet, and it's a hell of a lot better than touch controls.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, touch controls will be good, but a controller is just, one step above that.
Insanity Wolf, if I remember right, there is planned 28 playable dinos? Or was it 18? I think I remember there being 8 in there. 18.
It's 18 on launch, and it'll scale up with all the post-launch dinosaurs.
When specifically during Q1 will early access be available, Parker? That's to be determined, I'm sure.
Yeah, so we're a little bit more less specific on that, because basically what will happen is, one of our developers will get sick or something will happen, and it might get delayed by a couple of days, and we wouldn't want to keep moving the deadline back on people. So we kind of want to give it like a date where, hey, it's going to happen in this time window, but being very specific kind of this early would be difficult.
Don't worry, guys. I'll keep you all up to date. Fast as it comes out, I'll tell you.
A good way of seeing our progress is keeping an eye on the demo updates, and when the fishing demo comes, and you can get an idea on how far we're behind and how things are going. And we also do monthly dev blogs that tell a lot of information about the behind-the-scenes development, and we also have these Q&As, which can definitely.
Alright, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer, so if anyone's got questions from the chat, please make sure you get them in now. What kind of attacks will dinosaurs have? Gavku Gaming. There'll be a lot of from what I remember in the last Q&A, there's going to be a ton of different attacks. You'll have claw swiping, tail attacks, biting. It's going to depend on your dinosaur, but you're also going to be able to swap out different attacks based on your dinosaur, right?
Yeah, so you won't just have a fixed, 3 attacks. It'll be, you have a number of slots you can use for attacks, and you're about to swap them out to different, depending on your playstyle and what works for you. And so you're about to unlock these and swap them out, kind of in the character upgrade screen. And yeah, there's plenty of interesting stuff we can do, and we want to look at making each dinosaur have cool and interesting attacks and kind of make sense and not leave you particularly vulnerable. In terms of, hey, there's a kind of attack that I can't really do anything about. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. And combat and collision will definitely help with attacks and being able to make a good impact on those kind of things.
Awesome. And Jurassic King, I do believe aquatic reptiles will be a thing. That'll be a post-launch addition to the game. Will you guys have an IK system where dinosaurs angle up or down hills when they're walking?
Yeah, that should be in the game currently, though I think the Deinonychus is actually bugged right now where he doesn't have IK, but if you're playing as a Struthiomimus, he's got IK.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. I can see it here. So watch its legs, guys. You can see that it walks appropriately, flat feet, as it goes down the hill there. So IK system's definitely going to be a thing. May not be in place for every dinosaur at the moment, but such is the nature of a demo. Insanity Wolf's last question. Do you guys have a particular favorite dinosaur that you have planned for the game? Just kind of a flavor question.
That's a tough one because that's kind of like, what's your favorite child? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like one of them you just see heartbroken eyes. You know, when you pick one or the other one, it's kind of like they're both awesome. But I think my current favorite dinosaur is not like what's your favorite one of all time. It's kind of like what's your current thing you're interested in is definitely going to be the fishing demo and the Suchomimus, because I feel like that's kind of been a feature. People have been waiting a number of years for kind of a dinosaur game to have that kind of feature, and it's a really exciting mechanic. It's kind of the first sign of like significant progress to the game is going to be the fishing demo.
And I'd have to say, my favorite kind of type of dinosaur is actually not in the game, unfortunately. It's called it's basically the type of dinosaurs that the Carnotaurus is, where they kind of have really long bodies, you know, big spikes on their back, and very, very tiny little arms, even smaller than Tyrannosaurus.
Oh,
I
okay.
really like those guys just because of how crazy they look. Nothing is unfortunately planned for Attack of Titans for launch, but one of our stretch goals was something called the, forgive me for probably pronouncing this one wrong, but the Pycnonemosaurus, which is basically just Carnotaurus, but a little bit bigger. And I really want to see that guy added to the game, you know, as a stretch goal. But in terms of my favorite dinosaur that's currently in the game, I honestly can't pick because it's like the last dinosaur that I've modeled is my favorite one. The
Yeah.
next one that I do is my favorite one. Like, so I really like, you know, the Spino right now, because that was the last dinosaur that I've modeled. But, you know, I go back and I tweak, like, the Ceratosaurus, then it becomes my favorite one again. It's really tough. I can't really give an accurate answer.
Well, thank you for still trying. Right now, the favorite of Jiggy's is the Spino, guys, but it'll change once the next dino comes up. Let me see here. We had some questions, multiple questions about mating rituals, if that'll be a thing. I know it's tied to nesting.
We're trying to stray away from any like sexual content, just because this is, you know, dinosaurs is usually for kids. That being said, there's a lot of emotes you can use in the game that aren't just calls. Like you can make them rear up and flap their wings if you're, you know, Deinonychus or Latinavenatrix, or you can make them do kind of like a friendly looking display and stuff like that. So if you're interested in role playing as that, it won't have any actual gameplay, like, you know, thing attached to it. But if you just want to role play and pretend to do like a mating display or whatever, like a show off for the ladies kind of thing, then that's something that you can do.
There you go, guys. Feel free to show off for the ladies. New dinos, like which ones, asks Kepler? There'll be some stuff added post-launch, like Tyrannosaurus, aquatic reptiles, pterosaurs. I'm probably forgetting a bunch, but there's a whole bunch of more content to come post-launch after the 1.0 version of the game is complete. You see here, Happy New Year to you as well, Trinidadian. I should play Dysplatosaurus. I totally would. I'm a big fan of the Tyrannosaurs, but Dysplatosaurus isn't one of the playable demo dinos yet. Will there be any sort of like sexual dimorphism between males and females?
Yes, there is, but it's just in color. So if you actually log out and create a new character, you can flip between male and female, and generally the male is brighter than the female. However, there's some instances where the female gets access to like more unique colors. You know, for example, if the male has red colors, then the female might get more pinks and purples and blues, just to sort of like give them flashier options, but still make it really clear that, hey, this is the female one, because it has access to the purple colors, for example.
Okay, yeah.
So, because you know, if you're really into playing as, you know, the dinosaur that represents your gender, because you're, you know, interested in, kind of, I don't know, can like relate to your dinosaur a bit better, then you won't feel, oh man, I can only ever go in bright flash, and I can't play as camo, or, you know, vice versa. So.
Yeah. Courtney, nesting won't be allowed in home caves, if I remember right. That'll just mostly be a place to chill, not a place for any sort of gameplay or progression.
The home cave, it's not gonna have any water in it. It's not gonna have any food. You know, you can only stay there for as long as your dinosaur doesn't starve. You know, kind of thing. Nesting won't be allowed in there. So it's basically, just think of it as like a place to hang out, chat with your friends. If you feel like, you know, you're getting stressed out trying to just hang out out in the world where you can get killed, or where the AI are there, maybe where, you know, just PvP happening and stuff. So it's just a place to hang and chill out. That's the idea. Imagine it like player housing, like in other MMO games.
I have seen a couple questions about tracking systems and scent.
So, the idea with scent is, functionally, scent needs to work like, how do I track things, and how do I know where I am, and how do I figure out where food and water is, and stuff like that. Like, that's, from a gameplay point of view, that's what scent is for. Now, because this map is going to be quite large, we've been, you know, like we see here with the location markers and things like that, there's going to be some kind of a mini-map that you'll have as well. So, in terms of navigating, scent isn't really going to be used for that. You know, that's not the idea, and we're still playing around with the ideas for exactly how we want to implement scent, but we know for sure if we have any kind of scent, it's not going to work like there's going to be colored orbs or clouds of smoke or anything like that directly in the world that you can visually see. Just because if you've ever played any other kind of MMO game, or even just like an RPG game, sometimes you get a quest marker, right? And it says, hey, go over here to this location, and that's where your quest is. And then it shows up on a compass or something, or shows up in the world as a marker. And then you, as a player, basically all you start doing is just staring at that mark and just walking in a straight line directly towards it. And you're not paying attention to the world, you're not paying attention to the things around you, or actually looking at the environment. You're kind of just, you know, hyper-focused tunnel vision on that point. And then once you get there, then you do the quest and stuff. But we really want to avoid that, because it kind of doesn't really make sense as like a dinosaur and as a creature, because you should always be aware of your surroundings, where you're walking, you know, observing the environment that we've built for everybody. So yeah, definitely there won't be any like clear markers in the world that you can just beeline straight towards, because that's kind of the antithesis of what we're trying to build. So, but we can probably give more information about scent and anything that might be related to it in the future when we get closer to implementing it.
Is there any talk of juvenile models or?
So, growth is a little bit ways out before we start working too much on that one, and if it's going to be ready for release. But it will be seamless. It's used something called a blend shape. Actually, your dinosaurs currently have blend shapes, if you notice, they're actually blinking and breathing. So you can see their eyes actually move, not just the little white eyelid, the membrane over their eyes, but actually like the physical eyelid blinks and their chest and stuff
Oh.
moves.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Yeah, so that's something called a blend shape, or it depends. Lots of different software calls it different things, but in real, I think it's just a blend shape. And basically, if you can imagine that, but instead of just making your eye move or your chest get slightly bigger because you're breathing, it actually makes like your head get bigger and your feet get bigger and maybe your tail gets shorter or something like that, and then you can seamlessly transition between those two. So you can have baby model, which would basically just be the adult model, but scaled in such a way so that it's, the head is bigger, the eyes are bigger, the feet are bigger. Just depends on what the dinosaur's meant to look like, of course. But that would be how we're going to
Much as
implement
how
it
it would
the
be in
future.
real life.
Yeah, that's how it would be in the future. And we're thinking of doing something like when you're born, you just have a really basic baby skin. And there's the colors that your character is going to have would be there, and then as you grow over time, it'll slowly transition you into your adult colors, just so it's easy to tell at a glance. You can see, hey, that person is, probably about this age, this stage kind of thing in their growth, and you can just look at them, other than their size, of course, as well.
So I'm curious, so when completing these quests in the demo, will those points be saved so we could like use them when unlockables come up, or is that something that'll be wiped clean when like the early access demo or the just early access version of the game comes out?
So nothing that you play as currently in the demo is going to carry over to the pre-release.
Okay.
Just because that makes it, because we're actively working on things, like someone could discover a bug that lets them gain, 9,999 right? And then if we carry that over, that really ruins the game for a lot of people. So because it's the demo and we're actively fixing bugs and working on things, it doesn't make sense to carry things over like that. Right now, if you do log out and like come back later, your points will be saved on your character, like just in this demo.
And your quest progress is right, so
Yeah,
if you're halfway through a quest, it'll get saved as well.
Yeah, you can come
nice.
back later and save. So that's there too. And while there's nothing to spend your points on actually right now, once we do our next stress test that is pretty much free of bugs, we're doing a little bit of a contest where whoever manages to get the most points, then they'll get a skin key or sort of like a little bit of a reward. Just to like
skin key or a demo key to give to a friend or something like that.
Yeah, just a little something, because we really want to help the server, try and stress test the server, and if we can get people running around doing things, that'd be really awesome.
Yeah, if we can get a full server and get people kind of competing and running around and simulating the load patterns we need, and if we can give them a skin or something like that, generally people are super interested in that.
If you go
that'd be
to the
nice.
player list, you can actually see how many points each person has.
Oh, what? Let me see this.
Yes, so we'll basically at the end of the stress test pick the person with the highest points to give the reward to.
Dragon has 500 points, and Fearful has 520 points. Man, these guys.
I see that.
Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah, every time I try to get a mushroom, somebody comes and grabs it up from under me, so I can tell people are working on these quests. Good job out there, guys. Ooh, I ran into a corner. That's something different. Help.
Awesome. So I think we'll wrap up the Q&A here, at least on our side. You can keep streaming if you want, just because it's getting a little bit tired. But
yeah,
if there's no final questions.
Let's see. Any final questions, guys? Someone's saying they had an error code when trying to download. If there's any advice on how to fix that.
You can jump into our Discord and post in like the one of the help channels. One of the moderators will better help you with that one.
There you go. And link to the Path of Titans Discord is down below in the description, guys. How will herding grouping work? Would there be any hierarchy in a herd?
Yeah, so there's a couple different kinds of groups. There's going to be, regular groups that we're in right now, actually. There's going to be a limit of generally 5 players per group. Depends on the species as well. But the big thing is going to be there's actually going to be guilds, or we call them clans, because dinosaur guild is a bit weird, but clans.
Yeah.
And basically you'll be able to, not necessarily jump into a gigantic group with a whole bunch of people, but you actually like join the clan, and then you can access your clan menu and like see who's online and see what like the clan message of the day is, and maybe stuff related to clan quests. So if you have a big quest going on where you have to, for example, let's just say in the context of this demo, gather 1,000 mushrooms as a clan, and then everyone who participates as part of your clan gets some rewards, right? And then you can, as a giant group, try and work towards some of the really difficult tasks, and just to try and build a bit more community and feel like you can actually be part of a larger dinosaur group, because sometimes it can be a little bit difficult trying to organize groups and see who's playing and stuff like that. A lot of people use Discord to try and get that organized, but if you can do it straight in the game, then that would help a lot too, because if you're playing on a console or if you're playing on your phone and stuff like that, it can be really hard to actually use Discord or any other one of these external services to try and get everyone organized. So that's generally the purpose of the clans, is just figure out who's online of your friends, do big quests together, and generally just have a fun time with a large group of people.
And you will be able to share quests. So if you can share your mushroom quest, for example, and 2 people might be able to get the quest done a hell of a lot faster, and you can kind of share part of the reward of marks that you get when you complete it.
One last question. I have a lot of people asking if how again can they access the mobile version of the game?
Yeah, so on our Discord, there's a bot commands channel where you can add roles to your Discord. You can get like tags for when new stress test goes up, or when new podcasts go up, or basically you can add yourself to either the iOS or Android tag, depending on what kind of phone you have, and you'll get a channel full of instructions on how to download it, and like some channels dedicated to reporting bugs for it and testing it and that kind of stuff.
So
But
in
if
short,
you
they
missed
can.
any of that, you can just ask in the Discord, and one of the moderators will help you either way.
There you go, guys. Join the Discord. Again, link down below in the description. You'll be able to find the Path of Titans Discord. If you have any further questions, you'll be able to make them there. And if you want to get access to that mobile demo, you can talk to the moderators and they will hook you up. So thank you so much, Jiggy and Deathlyrage. You guys are really fantastic. Thank you so much for taking time out of your New Year's Eve to spend it with me, playing as Struthiomimus and Deinonychus, running around and having a good time and asking or answering all these questions from the community. Big thanks to you guys.
Special thanks to you for doing a very similar thing. For may have left the New Year's party a little bit earlier to make this, but yeah, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.
Oh, it's really my pleasure. Anytime. I'll let you guys get back to the festivities and celebrations. I think I'm going to hang around in the game a little bit longer. I gotta at least finish one of these mushroom quests.
Awesome, cool. We'll catch you later.
Alright, we'll catch you guys later. Happy New Year!
Bye.
See ya.
Alright, guys. Well, thank you all so much for asking your questions to the lead devs of Path of Titans. I really appreciate it. We had another good showing here on the stream. Thank you so much for 85 likes, guys. That is awesome. Appreciate the super chats. I want to welcome everybody. Lori Keat, Lost Coyote, Carnage Cassidy, Digi says, what we playing next? I'll probably, I might actually spend the rest of the night finishing that video I'd promised for, yesterday. So, we'll see about that. I might stream again tonight, but I will double check with you guys again. We're gonna go for a little while longer here on Path of Titans. How you doing there, Twilight? Oh, sorry, Nick, I missed your comment there. I'll tell Jiggy hi for you next time. Big ostrich and murder chicken. That's right, Carnage Cassidy. And I saw someone ask how many dinos are in the game currently. In the demo, there's 4 dinos. You have the Latena Venatrix, which is actually AKA the Troodon. Then you have the Deinonychus, the Camptosaurus, and what I'm playing as currently, the Struthiomimus. So 4 playable dinos currently in the demo. Nope, not over yet, Lost Coyote. Just Jiggy and Deathlyrage had to go. Hey, it's my pleasure, Basic Bully. Thank you so much for joining us, and Happy New Year to all of you out there. I'm just an hour and a half away from New Year's Day. Who is the coolest YouTuber in the whole tire world? I don't know. Who is the coolest YouTuber in the tire world? Hey, appreciate you there, A and Edwards. Alright, I'm gonna look for some of these mushrooms, guys, because I want to complete my first quest. If you guys don't follow Path of Titans on their Instagram, I would recommend that as well. There's a really cool clip showing someone spawning in from one of the waystones. No! Ah! I gotta get ahead of these guys. Everyone's snatching up the mushrooms in front of me. It's a mad dash to the finish now. There's one. Mine! Hell yeah. 4 out of 25. We're gonna have to really start getting a keen eye for these things. Skylandy says, I keep switching between YouTube and the game. Are you in the game currently with me, Skylandy? Hey, what's up, Michael Tester and Crystal? Hey, how you doing? Happy New Year! Yeah, guys, this game is coming along really well. I know I've been throwing a little bit of shade towards some games during this stream, and I apologize. I can't help it. I do have some qualms with some other games in the same genre, but it's all just lighthearted shade I'm throwing. I basically support any game as long as the developers, you know, are good people and are doing the best they can. Because making a game ain't easy, guys, and it's important we give developers some slack from time to time. I know we can be a very passionate bunch when it comes to these games, but they are still just people doing real work every day to try to produce something that takes a lot of trial and error. So my apologies if I came off a little mean-spirited at times. But hey, good to see you there, Mad Dad. Welcome to the stream. Help, it's almost New Year's, Mad Dad, says Michael Tester. Hi, Simo, I had a question about if there was going to be cannibalism. Oh, sorry, I wish I would have got that one, Jurassic King. I would assume there's going to be. I mean, if one of your own dies, I would presume you should be able to eat them. But I'm hoping we'll be able to get to do another Q&A with Deathly and Jiggy in the future, and I'll keep that one in mind, Jurassic King, so I can ask it in the future. 2020, baby, that's right, Mad Dad. We about to enter the Roaring 20s. A whole new decade. Everyone reflect back on the last 10 years. I spent some time during my drive listening to some of my favorite artists over the last 10 years. Crystal says, I'm gonna try and get a new gaming PC or laptop come taxes. I work 3 jobs and I'm having a hard time keeping up with life, but I want to get back to the Isle and maybe start playing new games. That's a worthwhile adventure there, Crystal. I wish you the best of luck. Tax season is just right around the corner. But, you know, if you want something to get you by in the meantime, I highly recommend getting something like a remote access PC, like what I use to play the games I play. If you got a PC right now that's a little old and just can't quite handle the games, you can use one of these remote access PCs, which opens basically a window on your computer that is a whole other computer. So it's something to look into if you want something to get you by until you can get a new gaming PC. Nick Osborne says the Deinonychus in this game sounds terrifying, letting you know, Simo. Right on, Nick. Yeah, it's a good looking dino too. I really like the models they have. And the laying down animation for the Struthy here is just really cute. It looks so cozy. Spooky Spook says, well, I'm heading out. Glad I got to play with ya. Hey, right on, Spooky Spooks. Thank you so much for joining us, my friend. I hope to catch you on Path of Titans again. I will definitely be here anytime I know that the multiplayer testing is going live, because I want to do what I can to help these guys, refine this project. Hey, Magnosaurus Rex, welcome to the channel, my friend. So glad you could join me. Thank you for being here, new to the channel. Caster says, I want to see Sarcosuchus in the game so badly. Well, I don't know exactly what crocs will be in the game, but that would be a really cool one. I really do appreciate the Sarcosuchus. It's a very interesting crocodile. Who's excited for the Isle's Brachiosaurus? I am, Nick, but I'm a little, I do hope that we'll be able to be like, be able to play it, is essentially what I'm saying. I'm thinking it'll probably be a lot like the Pew, just refined. Prego says, all I hear at home is fireworks, or maybe it's gunshots, or maybe it's both. People are launching off fireworks and shooting guns into the air. Hey, Indo Fury, an Oviraptor fan. Hey, there you are, right in the game. My neighborhood makes it a competition of fireworks. It's a war zone of and shaking glass. Oh, good luck out there, Lost Coyote. And Oviraptor fan said, I hope everyone is having a good time. Thank you so much, Oviraptor fan. I certainly am. But I'm determined to find some more mushrooms. Because I've only got 4. I wish I could attack, because then I'd beat up peeps if they tried to steal my mushrooms. But hey, they said combat elements would be coming to the demo sometime soon, so I'm really interested in that. Sorry if I don't look at chat for a minute, guys. My eyes are peeled, looking for all of the Mario mushrooms I can find. I feel like the playable area might be a little bit smaller this time around than it was in the past. I do keep running into the boundary, but I don't know if that's just because I stick in the same area and I'm not going far enough into the playable area. I don't know. Ooh, hello. Alright, we're gonna want to go back this way. Crystal says, I'm excited to experience all new updates for the Isle that happened since I played about 8 months ago. Yes, me too, Crystal. It's been a long time coming, but the hype is real and the release date is coming up close. Fried mushrooms, says Cannibal BBQ. Oh, I thought that was like a corpse or something. Basic Bully says, heading out, Simo. Thanks for doing the stream. Looking forward to more. Right on, Basic Bully. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Twilight Chan says, I made a mistake picking a crappy laptop for games like The Isle, but gaming PCs are way too expensive. Cries. They certainly are, Twilight. Which is also why I'd recommend checking out a remote access PC for you. It's just a good way to get you to a new PC. For me, like, I was desperate to pick up a new computer, but this has basically put me on a good footing, although I do want to warn you, it can be kind of buggy sometimes, and just full disclosure, I'm not being paid or anything to promote these things. I just think they're good products for those of us who have a tighter budget, but also want to get a chance to play awesome games in their full quality. But yeah, the one I use can be a little buggy sometimes. It will take a long time to connect. Like, I was having issues with that when I first got home, I think it's usually when you got like an update, but it's not saying it has an update. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but just keep that in mind if you guys check those things out. Skylandy says, don't forget resetting regen stam faster, or resting resets regen stam faster, and sleeping faster still. Alright, well I think we should take a little nap. Relax. Definitely gonna buy this Lost Coyote. I highly recommend it. Sarcosuchus is confirmed via stretch goal, but I can't wait, Simo. Right on, Casterus. Well, that'll be cool, Sarcosuchus. We'll just have to be patient and wait. They plan to have this game done in a really ambitious time frame, so let's wish the dev team well that they can get their deadlines in and everybody remains in good health so they can get the game done. Oh, nice! Iguanodon's gonna be in this game. I actually did not know that, Nick. That's awesome. Are there galleys in Path of Titans? You're looking at them, Godzilla artist. I mean, it's not a Gallimimus. It's a Struthiomimus. Just a very similar dino. I think Struthiomimus might actually be a tad bigger than the Gallimimus. I'm not totally sure. Oh, my stam's good. Let's get up. Let's get on move again. I got more mushrooms to find. I hope I'm able to find some more mushrooms before they shut down the server. I don't know how long I got, so we gotta really get on our game here. Ooh, I bet there's lots of mushrooms in here. I can't believe I didn't find this yet. Entered mossy cavern. Mushroom! Oh no, don't tell me it's one of the bugged ones. Got it. Oh, there's a bunch of mushrooms down. No! Those are my mushrooms! Oof. Another one. Can I get another one? Yeah, the quest system is going to be super cool, guys. I really like the idea of there being a more solid gameplay loop, and I think it's something that really sets it apart from other dinosaur games, like, say, for example, you know, Beast of Bermuda or The Isle. I don't think either of those games have any plans for quest systems, so it makes it different. So if you like something that's a little more structured, Path of Titans will probably be a better game for you, but if you really want something that's like just a hardcore survival experience, then I think The Isle would be more your game. It's gonna all come down to personal preference, guys, but you know, we only benefit by there being more options and more competition in the marketplace of dinosaur games, so keep that in mind. You know, it's not good for us to break down into, you know, like tribalisms and say this game's better than that game and people who play that this or that. Just live and let live, I say. Luis Garcia says, can't find the game on Steam. Luis, that is because it is not a Steam game. If you want to find Path of Titans, you can find it on alderongames.com. They have their own launcher for this game, and if you purchase the access to the demo, it will be essentially you purchasing the full game. You'll get the full game once it's completed, along with early access and everything along the way. So it's a one-time purchase. You don't gotta repurchase the game. And they're even working on a really cool thing where if you purchase this game one place, you'll be able to play it any place. So, for example, if it makes it to consoles, you'll be able to download the game on the console, or, you know, you'll be able to download it on mobile. You won't have to buy the game for each platform it's on. I know that's something they're trying to do. I kind of wish I'd asked them, but, you know, I think we need to give them a little bit more time to work on that, because they're still trying to figure out getting this game onto console platforms. It's pretty much confirmed to be going mobile, but, you know, let's hope that they can get on, you know, like the Wii or the Xbox or PlayStation, or all three. Another thing, guys, we never brought up in the Q&A is that there is not going to be permadeath in this game. You know, like for example, in the Isle or Beasts of Bermuda, when you die, that's it. You got to start over. But in this, you'll just lose some of your points that you acquire through quests. So there will be punishment when it comes to dying, but it's not going to be as punishing. So that's another key difference that sets this game apart. Otaku says, I have the standard version of the game, but I couldn't find any options to upgrade to the $30 version of the game to play early. I'm worried that if I buy it, I could get another copy of the game. If you guys have any further questions that, you know, that applies to things like that, Otaku, I would recommend checking out the Path of Titans Discord. Link is down in the description below. If you guys are looking for something specific, they should be able to point you in the right direction. Hey, gotta go, Magnosaurus Rex. We'll catch you later, homie. Thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah, they said they wanted to get it on the Wii, Fearful, so that'd be super cool. I'd like to see it on the Xbox, personally, because that's the only console I actually have. But, you know, it being cross-platform is going to be super cool. Simo, can you play Jurassic World Evolution tonight? I want to see hell break loose again. Maybe 98. I'll take a minute to figure out what I'm going to play once I'm done with this stream. Oviraptor fan says, I've been hanging out with you through pretty much the entire stream. You have been, Oviraptor fan. No one's been here, I think, quite as much as you guys. Skylandy and Night as well. Oh, is that what it is, Fearful? I am in no way a Nintendo fan, so I don't even pay attention to which Nintendo console is out these days. But yeah, they meant I meant the Switch. That's the newest Nintendo console. You gotta head out, Carnage Cassidy. We'll catch you later, bud. Have a good night. Happy New Year, my friend. We were a group of female shants led by a red-cheeked Maya. Made a reindeer joke. Nice, Lost Coyote. Simo, you excited for Amargasaurus in Path of Titans? I am not familiar with Amargasaurus. Hey, what's up, Mystics? Welcome to the stream. Godzilla Artist says, my Pteranodon broke out yesterday, and I followed them to in capture mode. I haven't even had my Pteranodons break out, Godzilla Artist. I should go and delete all of my weather protection stations and just see what happens. Alright, we're gonna resume our search. I'm gonna go for probably like another 20 minutes, guys, and then we're gonna wrap this stream up. What's up, Night? There you are, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Is this game better than Beasts of Bermuda? You know, I don't want to throw any shade on Beasts of Bermuda, but it certainly has more appealing graphics to me than Beasts of Bermuda does. Beasts of Bermuda actually has some really interesting game mechanics, like flooding and tornadoes. I think that's super cool, and I would really like to see stuff like that in this game or the Isle. Right now, Beasts of Bermuda is the only one that actually does it. So I think it's a good game in its own right. But I think this game may ultimately be a better experience if you ask me. Amargasaurus is a bizarre sauropod? Oh, right on. That must be the sauropod they're talking about adding. Because, yeah, they did say they were going to be adding one playable sauropod, I believe. Dang it, where'd all the mushrooms go? Wonder how long they take to respawn. Because this spot is just a gold mine for mushrooms. I'm gonna get them first. We're all competing for the same mushrooms. I think this one's bugged out. No, it's not out yet, Stutter. It's actually still in demo. You can get access to it through the Alderaan Games launcher, but this game is not out. The early access will be announced Q1 2020, so it'll be out, I think, sometime in the first half of next year, or in just about an hour this year. Departed Mossy Cavern. Bread Toast says, I think people are giving B.O.B. a hard time. B.O.B. is not based around survival, it's based around making the perfect baby with the perfect genes. That is the goal. I think people need to realize that. Yeah, and also, that's the first game that development team has ever made, and I think that's amazing, actually. Beast of Bermuda is great. I give it mad props. It just had some design choices I'm not a fan of, but that's just a subjective thing. The game's come a long, long way from when it first launched. It wasn't really that bad, but I had a real hard time with bugs when it first launched. But the game's is in a fantastic state now. It is very playable. Get those shrooms, you oversized tailed ostrich. I'm working on it, Lost Coyote. Sharkbait says, can't wait for this to come out for mobile. I know, Sharkbait, it's gonna be awesome. It's already 2020 for you, Stutter. Well, Happy New Year. Twilight says, ooh, Simo, can I make graphic novel pages of your stream clips? Sure, go for it. I'd love to see it. Follow you, Oviraptor fan? Okay, lead the way. W. Happy New Year's, Simo, and everyone in chat. Thank you so much, CJJM93. Nice. Oh no. Oh no. I'm trying to turn around. I think that one might be bugged out. That Latin doesn't want to share it. Alright, fine, fine. Fair enough. I'll look around for my own mushrooms. Thank you for the help there, Oviraptor. Hey, what's up, Muffin Time? So are the calls the same, like the aisle, like 1, 2, 3, 4? It actually has like, I don't think they have all the calls in for the Deinonychus or the Struthi yet. Because they do have the F call for the Struthy here, but they didn't have the F call for the Deinonychus. And I think they had the 5 call for the Deinonychus, but they don't have it for the Struthy. Some of them are just animations like this, too. This is the 2 call. It's just an animation. Oh, good night there, Big Red Ben. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you. Glad you stopped by. Hope you have a good night and a Happy New Year. Hey, Jim Ford. Looking for those mushrooms. Flashback to Badger, mushroom. Yeah, guys, just the simple fact of what I'm doing here is I'm moving around with a purpose. I have something to find. I have something to focus my time on besides just growing. I actually have objectives and things to accomplish. While it's pretty rudimentary at this point, I'm excited to see where they go with it. Oh, Obi Raptor found more? Ooh. Achoo. Achoo. Ooh, excuse me, guys. Hey, what's up, Salty Gamer? Rex Wolfdog, the emotes are so cool. Yeah, I like them too. Happy New Year's, Ninky Bell. Oh, nice. You just saw fireworks now, Alec? Christina, hello. Michael Tester says, hey, Christina. Testing is about to end. Oh no! Skylandy says, I was running into a bunch of mushrooms earlier. I reckon they vanish when you're looking for them. Yeah, or everybody else already went and got all the mushrooms and they might be a little slow to respawn. But it's whatever. I should be able to continue my quest next time, because the quest progress should be saved. Oh, here we go. Looks like we're ending the demo, guys. So I'm assuming that little, turtle? There it is. But alright guys, yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I do hope you did enjoy. I hope you learned a little something about Path of Titans. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much for the support on the channel and for everything you've done to help me reach 5,000 subscribers and help me have a wonderful 2019. I'm looking forward to making 2020 even better, my friends. So if you did enjoy the video, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for all the wonderful content coming up next year. I hope you guys have a wonderful night and a happy new year. So as always, guys, I love you. Thank you again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye. Bye. Oh, well, thank you for just joining us, Red Kangaroo, but the demo just ended, so we're wrapping it up. I'll be back in 2020, guys. That's it. This is the last stream of 2019. Alright, for real this time. How do you get the demo, Christina? You go to alderongames.com. If you have any questions, you can go to the Path of Titans Discord. Link is in the description down below. Alright. I hope to be back again here real soon, guys. I might stream once more tonight, but we will see. I might work on my video I was working on before I left. So, for real this time, guys. Love ya. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.